Deontay, I know you don't want to make excuses or anything or sound like you're making excuses, but could you shed some more light on the arm injury that you suffered early in your, very early in your camp and the surgery that you had?
Oh, yeah, no problem. Excuse me. Get this out of my mouth. Yes, I suffered an injury. I broke my arm last week before starting my camp, and that whole camp, I barely threw any right hands. It was all left hooks and jabs. So, you know, my accuracy in the fight, it could have played me breaking my arm and being that I was reserving it for the fight could have played a part of my accuracy, along with being anxious to knock him out. All that could have played a part. We're going back and we're going over certain things, and I hate bringing things up. That's why I don't make excuses before the fight. And I like to reveal certain things because I want to say I've overcame, adversity. I do so much to my body that a lot of people don't know. I'm a warrior. I'm a true warrior. I'm a true king. I don't make excuses. But I think it's interesting to know that not only was I fighting a guy 50-some pounds heavier than I, but, I had to overcome some things as well too. A lot of stuff plays a part, and I didn't want to say that to make no excuse or nothing. I take nothing away from the fight. I take nothing away from Tyson Fury. He did a wonderful job, especially, proving a lot of people wrong. I didn't want people to have an excuse for him. I wanted the best Tyson Fury, and we prepared for the best, and we got the best, and I'm happy for that. But we did, endure that injury, and that's that. I don't know what more to say about it. There was an injury that occurred, and it could have played a big factor into me not, throwing the right hand properly. I know I was over excited and anxious to knock him out, like I said I would do, and that's that. We can only move forward, learn from this situation, and go forward. I just want to show the world how tough I am. I can do so many things, have a broke hand, have a torn bicep, even have third-degree burns and still fight my heart out and give the best Deontay Wilder possible.
Deontay, I just want to make sure I have the time frame correctly here. It sounds like you had the surgery maybe early September. Does that sound right to you?
Something like that. Middle September. Some up in there, yeah. Some middle September, somewhere up in there.
Hey, this is Jay, Deontay's trainer. Yeah, the surgery was surgery was well before camp. It didn't require any kind of an overnight stay. It didn't require a cast or anything like that. It was basically in camp a precautionary measure not to overuse the right hand, so that Deontay would go into the fight, as strong as possible with it. And so there was no. It was just the timing was probably the only issue. And like Deontay said, just being a little bit anxious and then the timing of it. But as the fight went on, he was finding the timing on the right hand as more and more as the fight went on, the timing was coming back. But that's what it was. He came in, he was ready to go and healthy. You always deal with things in camp anyway, so you're never going to come in 100%. But he came in and did some amazing things.
Jay, I just wanted to, could you specify when he says broken arm? I mean, that could mean many things. What specifically was it?
I don't know the medical term. It was on the arm between the elbow and the wrist, and it could have been a thing where he could have not had the procedure and just kind of let it rest. But the doctor's advice was to go ahead and have the procedure and thought the healing would come along a lot faster. He said that basically after the procedure, Deontay will be able to do push-ups within like 2 or 3 days. It was that kind of a thing that's been done with football players. And so we opted to go ahead and have the procedure so that we could go ahead and know that it was going to be, well and healed a lot earlier in camp. And in camp, it was just 2 things. Number one, we wanted to focus on the left hand a lot anyway. And number 2, we just wanted to be careful with the right hand.
Okay, thank you for clearing that up, Jay. And Deontay, I just have one more question related to this. Did it once you had the procedure, did it bother you at all in camp, and did it bother you in the fight at all?
By the time we we got deep into camp, it didn't affect me at all. You know, at the beginning of camp, it kind of, you know how you have surgery, it's tender. You know, you got to let it rest a little bit. You know, even when I was throwing my right hand, I would land on guys. I would feel the pressure from the impact of a guy's head. You know, anybody that knows anything about punching a guy in the face and feeling the structure of their bones in your hands, it's not a nice feeling. Even when you're healthy, even when your arm is healthy, it's not a nice feeling to feel that, because that don't supposed to occur anyway. So when you have, when you break your arm like that and you're trying to heal, and you know you got a fight coming up, you want to use it. But we tried to be as careful as possible, and we laid back on that, on the right hand. But during the mid of camp, I was able to use it. Although in my mind I wanted to reserve it as well for this big fight. You know, I'm definitely was going to fight, and I wanted to make sure it was definitely healed properly. So we took appropriate measure for this situation.